Right then, another racing video, but hopefully this one don't contain much racing, just a few little clips here and there. So this is Scott's car. It won the Club Enduro Class A. We didn't win it outright because we just weren't consistent enough. Had quite a few little issues that we shouldn't have had, but we've got to the bottom of them now. I also used this along with the guys at the RAF for the Race of Remembrance, which we won that as well, which we're happy with that. That was a 12-hour race. So then, that's why the car's like this, it's needing a bit of a refresh. We had a lot of trouble at the Race of Remembrance with the gearboxes, so we're on with sorting that out. Sure, we've got some clips of them exploding. There's still a few bits inside the car that we've not taken out because there's just no need, like the fuel tank that can stay in there. We've had that out recently and put a new one in and resealed it because we had a few leaks. A few other little bits in there, like the fire extinguisher, no need to take that out, it's not ready for a service for another few months. But then we've got all of this stuff out, so I don't know where to start because there's a lot going on. The radiator pack and everything, that's all been out. Because of what I'll show you in a minute, there's no point because I put it over the side like an idiot. Getting some new boost pipes made and jigged up because we've not actually got jigs of all them, so we had a lot of hassle. One of them ended up coming loose, getting rubbed on by the tyre, damaged at the race, and we had a lot of trouble getting that sorted. The engine is absolutely perfect. We thought maybe it'd be getting to the point where it wants a refresh, but really happy how that, the compressions, everything are on that, so we're not going to do anything with that. The turbo had a rebuild. That we did that in-house, that's all sorted. The brakes, they're going to go off for red ceramic coating with all sort of reflective stuff from Camcoat we use for all those manifolds and stuff, so they'll come back looking good. Same for the rears, wherever they're hiding, they're somewhere in here. Might be doing some funky stuff with the dashboard because that weighs an absolute ton and it's an absolute mess now. It's been hacked away that many times, so we might get a carbon one or a fiberglass one maybe, we'll see. Brake ducts are going to get sorted as well while we're on that. So the big thing that we've had to do, the wiring, there's been a lot of bits added onto this wiring loom over the years. I think we've had this car's been put together for probably, works out 2 years now as it is. So we're going to tidy all that up and document how we've done everything. Because the big thing, we've got two cars that are the same. We want everything to be identical across the cars. Dry shafts, we're going to send those off so they don't need the big spacer. What else is going on here? Some interior bits are going to get sorted out, some mounting for the V-box and stuff like that. Gearbox, we've talked about that. I don't know if people have seen the little heatsink that we put on there. That does seem to help things. That's the hottest part of the gearbox, so we had those machined and they work pretty good. New rose joints on everything, all the Verkline stuff. The exhaust, although it is very purple and probably getting towards the end of its life, we'll just keep going with that one. See, we've not actually had an exhaust on our cars long enough, I don't think, to see how long they'll last. Steering rack's pretty much brand new because it had a new one at some point. The subframes, they're going to get jigged because we've only modified them on the not on the car, but not with any sort of level of similarity between the two cars. Spoilers there because that's getting swapped for a wider one. It's not going to be carbon fibre, which is a shame, but it will be pretty light, so when that comes we'll shout out to the guys that made that. Seat is probably going to get swapped with one from the RS3. Scott's got a fancy one, full carbon, and we might have to weld some brackets in behind to mount the seat on there or something like that. And this is what we're talking about with the front. So this is a new front end that we've made and jigged it as well, so I'm not unbolting it front jig because it needs finishing off, it needs some brackets put on here. So this is holding all the front end on, all the splitter, everything's all mounted off that. So I've literally whipped through probably a month's worth of work, and Tom's got 2 weeks to put it back together because it's going to Autosport. So It's probably not going to be race ready when it goes to Autosport. We're just not going to have time to get everything sorted that we want to. The suspension's still at all in just getting a check over for the sort of end of season. It tested out all right, just waiting for it to come back. So hopefully that comes back and we can put it on the car. If not, we'll just put the Bilstein back on there. And yeah, so once this one's done and ready to rock, mine's getting taken apart and getting all the same treatment. And then both cars are going to be identical. Then we're going to go through all the spares and make sure all the spares fit the cars, because the truck's full of stuff that maybe used to fit, but it need modifying to fit now. So a lot of work ahead of us for the winter. All of this is getting in the way of the V12 project, so sorry to everybody that's looking for that. Yeah, see how this video pans out, and Tom's going to maybe do a bit of talking. I've told him he's got to, so we'll see. So, quick update, and it needs to be quick. We've took the MD20 seat out of the RS3, which this is pretty special because it's got the nice like memory foam stuff here, so when you bash your head it doesn't hurt as much. And it's got the 6-point adjustment, 6-point fitment on the rear, so that goes onto the cage. We're going to have to add a piece on the cage to put that in. That should be a bit better. The Owens have come back, so Russ has sorted them out. They've had a dyno. We had a little tweak on the length of the front shocks, so that's all sorted. And a set of those is ordered for my car as well, which is good. So they're going back on as soon as. Thank you to Russ at Mick Gardner Racing for sorting them. Then this gearbox has just come from Mart at Gas and Gears, so this has got monster gear set in with a new 5th gear, which is a bit less helical. Put the RCP brace on there. The only thing we're going to do is put our heat sink on there, which I believe they're listed on the website now, because a few people have been asking about those. So it's a brand spanking new gearbox, SQS diff, like I said, the monster gears, all the little tweaks and tricks. Martin's done a nice job of building that. I've not had the bill yet, so we'll see. Just we didn't have time to get it sorted, and Martin's been doing these years, so he did find a couple of little issues that we've been having that maybe were self-inflicted, so appreciate him doing that. We've got a massive, massive boxer carnage. But anyway, that's that. The other thing, Carl at T89 Designs sorted these Benzing 162 profile wings out. So he makes all these himself, which is really, really nice. It's all water jet cut, little bits of skeleton inside with a nice little tube that goes through, and the gurney's built into it as well. So the idea behind this, the profile we've got at the minute, can't remember the exact number of that one, but it's the TCR profile. It's got a really, really sharp sort of kick at the back, and that makes it really draggy, which is fine if everybody's running the same, but we can run whatever we want. It's wider, I think we're 200mm wider than we've got at the minute, a little bit deeper, but it should flow better and give us similar, if not more, downforce for the same amount of drag, which I think we're about 5 kilometres an hour quicker when we took the spoiler off. So if we're somewhere in between, should be all right, because we're all losing out a little bit to some of the cars at the top end. So yeah, this is all ready to rock. It just wants powder coating. We'll test fit it, make sure everything's all right, get the end plates knocked up, whether we do carbon ones or aluminium ones, and then get these powder coated, either satin or gloss black, depending what Texas fancy. Yeah, really happy with that. So hit Cal up if you want some wings, because he was pretty much the only place that were making them in the UK. supplying them from the UK. Obviously it's not carbon fibre, but we'll weigh what this weighs and weigh the carbon one. This is light. So the rest of the car, the wiring's back in. So this has had quite a few little bits adjusted on it. A couple of things that we're going to do differently. We're going to put Autosport connectors on the injectors because that was the reason for the engine problems. With a Golf at the Birkit, the injector pins, they start to open up with the vibrations and then the injectors start misfiring. And it damaged 2 injectors, which we've never seen. So we're going to sort that out. New brake pipes are going in. Can you get out of the way, Tom, so I can show them this nice little sheathing that you've put on wiring. So we've got this stuff here, ray fast round it. So you literally just wrap that around your wiring. It feels really, really spongy. And then that's what we've done to all the wiring inside. So if you look here, then we've just 3D printed these little things. I don't know if you can see them there. 3D printed these little saddles. So you glue these on with this 2-part adhesive, Araldite 2021, is that what it is? I don't know. Just a bit of that on the back of there, stick them on, and then you can run a tie wrap through them. They're going absolutely nowhere. So that's pretty good. Make sure you use flush cutters when you're cutting tie wraps. Savages use side cutters. Real men use side cutters. Real men use flush cutters. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. It's more of a rush than I wanted it to be because we go into the Autosport. I'd have liked to have another month for just getting it ready, nice and steady. But a bit of pressure never hurt the lads, so we'll keep working away.
On, turbo's on, obviously engine and gearbox are in, all suspensions on, rear suspension's all on, exhaust, that's all on, nice new carbon seats in, steering wheel, rack, pedal box, all interiors in pretty much. Just need an ECU bracket. Wiring looms somewhat tied up, needs a little bit more. Still need a bit to do in fuel tank. Got new inboard fuel lines this year, which run to all bulkhead fittings. Starting to fit up some body panels. Side skirt, front wings back on, just having the other side done, and then we'll move on to flat floors, all diffusers under trays, make that bottom half a bit more aerodynamic. Jobs are good. And quick car update. We're just repairing Ryan's crash damage from Race Remembrance to make it look somewhat Autosport respectable, and it's not going well. The flat floor diffuser's all on. Didn't want to film it because it was a bit sketchy, and if I'd filmed it then that means that there's evidence to sack me, so didn't film that. But yeah, that went on, like I say, very sketchy, so wasn't a good fun time, but it's on, so that's alright. And then as well, just this morning, just bolted the spoiler on, so she's pretty much ready to rock. The only thing we've got left to do is the front end stuff, which I will film because hopefully that shouldn't be as sketchy as putting a flat floor on. So, and then she's ready for Autosport after a good clean, a few little touch-ups. Job's a good one. Front end, front splitter, all them mashings are on. Right, made a bit on the tip pipe, make it fit a bit nicer, try and get a bit flush. All the interiors finished off, dash is in, dashboard, all that stuff. Job's a good one. She's a car again, pretty much ready for Autosport. Job's a good one.
So, as you can see, the car's here and it did make Autosport. I didn't do any videos while I was there. The show weren't the best and I was busy and it was stress getting there. But the car made it, did pretty well, everybody were happy who saw it. A lot of people wanted to sit in it, but the guys at the RAF didn't want them to sit in it. So that's that. But if you come to a track day and we're there, you can sit in it, or your kids can sit in it, or whoever wants to sit in it. So yeah, this is the end of this video because I think it's gone on a little bit too long. What Tom did was a bit of a rush job to get it to Autosport, to get it to where we needed. Now we've got a bit more time, so we're going to tart up all these little bits that we're not happy about, but it kind of went there with all the livery from the Race Remembrance on there for the RAF stand. So we're going to take all that off. We're going to get, I don't think this car's painted, so we're not going to change the livery on this one, I don't think, but the other car's going to be wide open for changing it. I do think a red and black theme still needs to stay there, but it depends how much money somebody wants to throw at us. But the next round of modifications we're doing are going to be very interesting. It might include billet things and carbon fibre things, so I think everybody will be happy to see what we've got. Can't really take any weight out of this now because the rules have changed. We got to know that while we're at the RAF dinner, that they've changed the rules a bit so that we can't take any more weight out of these now. We're pretty much as they are. So the sequential TCRs are going to give some hassle. But anyway, hopefully the video were interesting. Hopefully the next one's even more interesting. I'm looking forward to the first test in February.